All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another great Lunch and Learn. I'm Alexa Francis House with the Purchasing Division. And today we're really excited to speak with the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, OESBD. OESBD Assistant Director Maribel Feliciano is here with us. Maribel, if you want to come on camera and go ahead and wave so everyone can see you. There she is. She's saying hello, hello. I think you're on mute, Maribel, just in case.
Good afternoon, everyone.
There we go. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Maribel before I go ahead and turn over the presentation to her. So Maribel Feliciano is the Assistant Director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, whose mission is to stimulate economic development by attracting, retaining, and expanding targeted industries, including a special focus on small business growth. She's responsible for managing the day-to-day operations of the agency, including small business certification and compliance, economic development, apprenticeship, international trade, business development, communications and outreach, and supporting Phil Lauderdale. Ms. Feliciano has over 27 years of combined public and private sector multidisciplinary experience in comprehensive and land use planning, community and economic development, small business permitting and compliance, community outreach, sustainability, and strategic planning. She has a master's degree in urban and regional planning from Florida Atlantic University, go Owls, I'm a fellow Owl, and is certified with the American Institute of Certified Planners, the Florida Redevelopment Association, Redevelopment Professional, the American Contract Compliance Association, and Cornell University's Women in Leadership. In 2023, Ms. Feliciano was recognized for her leadership and support of the business community by the Health Foundation of South Florida with the Inspiring Woman of Health Award for her work with the South Florida Anchor Alliance, focused on creating an inclusive economy by the Hispanic Entrepreneurship Initiative, with the Empowering the American Dream Award for OESBD's service and support of local entrepreneurs, and by the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance with the Partners Council Leadership Award. So she's done a lot of things. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn the remainder of this session over to Maribel. I'll ask that if you guys have any questions as she's presenting, feel free to go ahead and type those in the chat. And then at key points, I'll go ahead and have pop in, ask those questions to Maribel, or we can take those at the end. All right, so without further ado.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Well, it's a pleasure for me to be here today. Thank you for the invitation. Sorry, because we sent you the really long bio. We should have sent you the very short one. But it's a pleasure for me to be here today to talk to all of you about OESBD, what we do to support small businesses, and how we collaborate with all of you, with all our county agencies. I really want to know who we have here. So if you can type on the chat what agency you are representing today. What is your agency? I would really love to see everybody that's here today. I see a few familiar faces from purchasing, but would love to see what other agencies we have. So if you can please, we have wastewater services, purchasing. Please share with us the agencies that you represent, because I really want to keep it interactive. I want this to be a conversation, and please do type on the chat your questions. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. Everybody can see the first slide. Basically, I'm going to be talking about OESBD, what we do here to support our small businesses, but also how we work with each one of you to ensure that we're successful doing that. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about our office and what we do. Our office is focused primarily on supporting our small business community. We promote the growth of our businesses and job creation. We work with many community partners here in Broward County to ensure that we're able to offer opportunities to our small businesses, our entrepreneurs, but that we also create job opportunities. In addition to that, we have programming, extensive programming for entrepreneurs here in Broward County. And we work with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, with our municipalities, chambers of commerce, and many other organizations to accomplish our mission and to support our business community. I'm going to now tell you a little bit about the different programs that we have, the different sections we have here in OASBD. We have an economic development and international trade section. And as part of that section, we support our business community by providing technical assistance. We do that one-on-one. We meet individually with businesses and entrepreneurs to identify what are the needs that they have, the gaps, and we are able to provide one-on-one technical assistance, or we refer them to other community organizations. We have an entrepreneurship program. We're actually promoting right now the orientation for our 11-week Kaufman New Venture program. What that program is we work with entrepreneurs to help them develop their business plan. Every aspect of the business plan, from developing the concept or the idea, the research and development, the financing, how much money they need to start their business, how they're going to market the business, etc. And we help them develop that business plan. And then at the end of the program, they're able to participate in a pitch competition to win cash prizes. So that's one of our very successful entrepreneurship programs that we have at this time. And the orientation is going to be on April 10th at 6 o'clock here at the Government Center at the Commission Chambers. So if you know of any entrepreneurs that would be interested in learning more, that maybe they may need seed dollars to start their business or to grow their business, definitely invite them to our Kaufman New Venture orientation. Our office also supports our unincorporated Broward, and I'm sure all of you are familiar with BMSD. That's the Broward Municipal Services District. So basically, we help support our businesses in unincorporated Broward. In BMSD, we have a grant program where we provide funding to our BMSD businesses for facade improvement and interior renovation. The facade improvement grant is 80-20. Broward County pays 80% of the facade improvements for their business, and the business will pay 20%. The interior renovation program is 50-50. So the business pays 50% and Broward County pays 50%. We have a demolition program and we have a revolving loan program. So that's some of the work that we do in the BMSD. We want to promote economic development in our unincorporated area. BMSD is one of the areas in the county that has the highest unemployment and lowest income. So we want to make sure that we support our businesses and our residents in the BMSD with the support services that they need. International trade. I'm sure many of you have heard about FITSE. Type in the chat if you've heard about FITSE. FITSE is our Florida International Trade and Cultural Expo. We have FITSE every fall in October. It's a 2-day event where we bring delegations from all over the world. Last year, we had over 70 countries represented in FITSE. It's at the Convention Center. It's a 2-day program, completely free for our business community. We want to make sure that we bring the world to Broward County and offer opportunities to our local businesses to start exporting their products, materials, or services to other parts of the world. So international trade program, we also provide 11 steps to exporting, which is a 1-day program where we work with businesses to make sure that they're ready to start exporting their goods, materials, and services. And we do a lot of other inbound missions, outbound missions, etc. We have incentive programs to promote, encourage companies to move here to Broward County from other parts of the United States or to grow their business. The incentives are based on the job creation. So depending on how many jobs these companies are creating, they're able to get funding from Broward County because we want to incentivize job creation here in the county. And we have a lot of workforce development programs. Many of you are familiar with our construction apprenticeship program, where we are trying to promote the creation of jobs as part on the construction industry as part of our county contracts. So we want to make sure that those eligible contracts that are construction related, more than $5 million, that they consider the use of apprenticeship as part of those contracts. That's one of our requirements as part of our program. Now I'm going to tell you about our other section is community relations and outreach. All of you know how important it is to educate our business community about the resources that we have, but also as part of the purchasing process, make sure they understand our procurement process, right? They make sure they understand the requirements, the documents they need to submit, how important it is to perform well on those contracts, how important it is that they read those contracts to ensure that they're successful. So the community relations and outreach section is responsible for providing that training to our business community, technical assistance to our certified small businesses, workshops. We do meet and greets with primes to make sure that they meet with the small businesses, the certified small businesses that they're required to use for contracts with Broward County. And we have a lot of other educational programs. We're very aggressive in this area because we know how important it is to support our small businesses. In our small business development section, many of you work with our small business development section as part of the shelter market review program, the call request forms, the compliance reviews, etc. Our section also provides technical assistance. We certify small businesses for the local and the federal certification. And we do project review. We review solicitations. We also participate in the pre-bid meetings and the meet and greets. And we do contract monitoring and resolution. Every single contract that has small business participation is reviewed by this office. We monitor those contracts on a monthly basis to ensure that our small businesses are being utilized. And we're also responsible for coordinating our small business advisory board. This board is appointed by the Broward County Board of County Commissioners, and they're responsible for providing recommendations in support of our small business community as part of the procurement process and the different programs that we have here in the county. Film Lauderdale is the new addition to our office. 2 years ago, Broward County made a commitment to expand the film program here in Broward County. We hired a new film commissioner, Sandy Leiterman, and we have been very aggressive working with Commissioner Geller and the rest of the commissioners to provide incentives, economic development incentives to attract film productions to the county. So the Film Commission is responsible for implementing those incentives, making sure that they provide assistance with the permitting. They are responsible for permitting all film productions here in the county, facilitating the permitting process with the cities, with BSO, with the police departments, et cetera, to make sure that those film productions, go smoothly. And of course, continuing to implement the program. But my favorite is the last one here, is basically we want to make sure that our local small businesses are being utilized as part of this film program, right? So we have a directory of small businesses that can be used for film productions. The incentive program has requirements. So if a production is eligible for our film incentive program, they are required to hire locally, to hire local residents to be part of their crew. In addition to that, if they need small businesses to provide some of the services, they are required to also hire local small businesses, local certified small businesses to be part of their film production here in the county. So that's another excellent program. Our film commissioner and her staff are always out in the community trying to recruit new businesses to participate on these film production opportunities and be added to our directory. And you will be surprised on all the different types of industries that can support film productions here in the county. So we'll be glad to share more information if you're interested in that area. And business development, I really wanted to make sure that I share with you, I want to focus primarily on the areas that are related to your functions, right? We have purchasing, wastewater services, other county agencies. You work closely with our small business development section. We certify small businesses to be part of the county's procurement process for both the local program that all of you are very familiar with, and then also the federal program. And I'm going to talk to you about the federal program, and that's when we receive federal funding. There is also a certification program to make sure that we're using small and minority-owned businesses as part of those contracts. And then our section is also responsible for compliance. We, in addition to reviewing shelter market and goal requests, we participate in private meetings, we provide technical assistance. As I mentioned, we monitor contracts. Right now, we're monitoring over 500 contracts that have small business participation. We review the monthly utilization reports, which are those reports that all the primes need to submit to let us know the CBEs that they're using or the DBEs that they're using, all the certified companies they're utilizing. We do enforcement. If our primes are not
Maribel, I think we lost your audio. Hi. Maribel, I think we can't hear you. Try muting and unmuting yourself. Let's see if that works. Raise your hand if you're hearing me. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. So not sure what happened, Maribel.
We just
Okay,
can't
can you
hear,
hear-
we just can't hear Maribel.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So we're having technical problems, but if you can hear me, I'll go ahead and proceed. Let me know if you're able to see the screen as we are transitioning. So basically, I was speaking about our local certification program, the SBE and the CBE. Many of you are very familiar with both programs. I'm going to share with you some of the eligibility requirements. Sometimes we get these questions from our staff or from the small business community. Basically, they must have a Broward County business tax receipt, and they have to be in business for at least 1 year here in Broward County before applying for the certification. They must have a physical address here in the county. And this is a really important one. It cannot be a PO box or a business service center. It must be a physical address here in the county. We also receive questions about home-based businesses. Do we certify home-based businesses? And the answer is home-based businesses can definitely apply for the certification. However, and we have certified home-based businesses, however, they must comply with all the requirements of the program. They have to have the city business tax receipt. They have to make sure that they comply with the land use and zoning requirements of the city, etc. They must employ at least one full-time employee, and they must have a continuous operating presence here in Broward County. And I just mentioned that, how important it is that they're complying with the local land use and zoning requirements. This is a side-by-side of basically both programs. So my SBE Reserve program, as you all know, solicitations under 250,000, between 100 and 250,000 are reviewed for the shelter market program. And that's a reserve. 100% of that contract, if eligible, will go to my small certified businesses. The personal net worth of the company must be less than 1.32 million. And here you can see the average gross revenues for construction is 3 million, contractual services 1 million, and for professional consultants 500,000. And then on the CBE, here you're able to see the same personal net worth, but the average gross revenues is a little higher. For construction is 9 million, and for all other services is 5 million. These revenues were updated back in 2018, And our Small Business Advisory Board right now is considering making a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners to increase those, because as all of you know, the cost of equipment, materials, et cetera, cost of living have increased significantly. So that's a recommendation the Small Business Advisory Board is going to be making to the County Commission in the upcoming months. We have our online application process for the local certification. It's really simple. We have the online system was set up by our IT department, and it's online, can be accessed 24/7. We have webinars available on our YouTube channel to basically go question by question and through the process of the online application. That way businesses will know exactly what documents they have to submit and the questions that we're going to be asking them. And then we also have some in-person and virtual training sessions that we do every year. We've also offered some in Spanish, and we're looking at offering some in Creole and Portuguese in the future. The federal certification program, remember I mentioned, we also certify businesses for the federal certification program. That's my Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, DBE, and Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. And this applies to projects that are funded by FAA and FTA, basically U.S. Department of Transportation funding. And here are the eligibility requirements for our federal certification program. Remember, I mentioned our local program is race and gender neutral, but the federal program is basically for minority and women-owned businesses. And you can see here the different requirements. Must be owned 51% by managed and controlled by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual. You see the personal net worth is the same as my local program. However, the gross receipts are a lot higher than my local program. And here you can see some additional information about the owners. Must be U.S. citizens or residents, and they must belong to one of the following groups. If you have any questions, please type the questions on the chat. We'll have opportunity to go over some of your questions at the end. All of you have access to our certified directory. As you know, you have to go to our certified directory. If you are going through the informal quote process, anything that is below $100,000, you have to go and look at our directory to see if we have certified small businesses that are able to provide the good material or service. Here, you can find it on our website. And the latest feature that we have is that you're able to download the results. So if you go to our homepage, you can go to the certification section, select Certified Firms Directory, as you can see here, and you will see our directory. You can search by any of these different fields, and then you're able to download your search results. So this is something we just added. Of course, our staff uses that when they're surveying the different companies, but as a county agency, you are able to use it when you need to buy any goods, materials, or services under $100,000. You can definitely go to the directory so you can notify all the firms of the products, materials, or services that you're planning to buy. Also, if you want to know how many certified firms we have on any specific industry, you can go to our directory to see the list and download the information. We use this a lot for our targeted outreach as well when we want to promote the different procurement opportunities we have for our certified small businesses. And this is the federal directory for the DBEs and the ACDBEs. You're also able to search for the directory for the different companies that are certified. Compliance. I mentioned that we do compliance for both programs. So everything that we do for the local program, we also do it for the federal program. Those MURs are a requirement for the federal program and the local program. Why do we have a federal program? Just wanted to share that with you briefly, because this is really important that all our agencies understand these federal requirements. So it's really important that as part of USDOT regulations, that if we receive federal funds that we consider the use of our DBEs and ACDBEs. And this is, again, a federal requirement. We have to provide annual reports to the federal agencies on how we're doing complying with the federal regulations and also the federal goals. We establish goals the same way we do for the local program, and we have to do reporting annually, semi-annually actually, to the federal government to let them know how we're doing complying with those requirements. The intent of the program, this is my federal program, which is race and gender specific, is to ensure the participation of minority and women-owned businesses as part of the procurement process on these federally funded projects. It also creates a level playing field when you're having these companies compete with each other for these contracts, and ensures that only firms that are eligible, meet the requirements of these programs, are able to participate in these projects. We also assist in the development of the companies. They continue to grow, they continue to acquire experience and perform successfully in contracts. Sandy, Michael McDonald, our director, is the official DBLO for Broward County, ACDBLO for the federal program as well. And his responsibility is to ensure compliance with the federal requirements. He's also the point of contact with FAA and FTA, and he's responsible for ensuring that all the requirements, compliance requirements, monitoring requirements, and reporting requirements are met for the federal program. The disadvantaged business enterprise requirements, because we don't have a lot of time, I'm not going to go in detail over this. I want to make sure that we have time for some questions at the end. The County Business Enterprise, our local program, as all of you know, has been approved by the Broward County Board of County Commissioners and is implemented by our office. But we do that in coordination with the purchasing division. We are married to the hip, right? Like Sandy and Bob like to say. And we want to make sure that we continue to work with all of you, our county agencies, to ensure that the program is successful. We do the goal request form. All of you are very familiar with this, and this is going to be integrated into BPRO in a few weeks. You're going to be receiving training on all of this. So everything is going to be in one system. So we're really excited about that and looking forward to the training that's going to be offered. The goal assignment, basically we review the scope of all projects. All solicitations come through this office for us to review for goal request forms. There are some exceptions to that, and of course I'm going to share that with you in a little bit. But we basically received the scope of work and the requirements as part of the goal request form, the type of funding, and based on that information, you submit it to sbcom@broward.org. And then our office reviews all the information that we receive. We look at the NAICS codes, make sure those are correct. We survey the certified firms to see if they are interested, available, and if they have the capacity to participate. And based on those responses, we're able to either reserve these contracts or assign a CBE goal. The CBE goal, as per the ordinance, at least 25% must be established for our CBE program. Just so you know, the latest scorecard we did, we're averaging 50% on our contracts that we have been monitoring for 2023, and that is included my CBE reserves. So those that are 100% CBE reserves, those are included on that analysis. So we're doing really well, working with all of you to ensure that our local small businesses are being utilized. At times, we have no CBE goals, right? There are different reasons for that. Sometimes it's because of the type of funding. Other times it's because we don't have 2 CBEs. We have to have at least 2 CBEs to be able to assign a goal or reserve a project. And then we can do additional outreach to try to recruit additional CBEs for those specific areas. And then Commissioner Geller, a few years back, passed an ordinance that basically authorizes Sandy and Bob to work together to do an additional 30 days to extend the procurement process to recruit additional CBEs. So that's something that was just amended a couple of years back. These are other additional information related to the no CBE goals. Again, because we don't have a lot of time, I'm just going to go in general on the CBE reserve. Another great opportunity for us when we have those smaller contracts that we know CBEs have the capacity to do as primes. we're able to reserve those contracts for our certified small businesses. We have to have at least 2 certified businesses that are able to do the work, and the contracts are awarded, of course, to the lowest responsible bidder. And if for some reason none of my CVs respond or are determined to be non-responsive or not eligible, we review the contract to make sure that we still have CV participation of at least 25%. And we work with purchasing to coordinate that. These are just some of the documents that we require to that you need to submit to us when you're submitting your goal request form or your shelter market request form. This is really important, and I'm sure that Alexa can share with you some of the slides afterwards. Some important tips. This is really important. I want to share with all of you. When you're submitting a goal request, please make sure you attach additional documentation, requirements, license requirements, etc., scope of work, identify the NAICS codes. We do not assign goals for sole source or most reasonable source. And be aware that the goal memos are only good for 6 months. So if for some reason you have not utilized the memo after 6 months, you need to resubmit the goal request form. Established goal is replaced by Prime's commitment at award. So basically, as part of the negotiation, purchasing works, as part of the negotiation process to finalize what that commitment is by the prime. Sometimes the primes commit to higher goals than those that we recommend, which we love, of course. And we confirm the project solicitation title with purchasing agent. That's really, really important that we always have the accurate information related to these projects. Something really important is we send a recognition letter to congratulate the primes and let them know, congratulations. We know that you received this contract, and we understand that you're going to be, you committed to this goal and to using this many CVEs. And we list all the CVEs that they committed to using as part of the letters of intent. And that letter, an additional letter, goes out to the subcontractors. So we send letters to the CVEs, congratulate them, and let them know that your prime is going to be contacting you very soon with more information about this contract. And this is another great way for us to ensure that there is always communication between prime and subs, and that they both understand the requirements, the reporting requirements as part of our program, and for us to assist them with any questions they may have, etc. I want to go over some of the questions on the chat. So Alexa, you want to share some of the questions? Are there any questions?
Yeah, we have quite a few here, so I'll just dive right in. The first question I have is, how often does OESBD conduct training with small businesses on how to construct bid responses or possibly provide assistance with drafting any RFP proposals?
That's an excellent question. We actually started a series, it's a 4-part series with purchasing last year. And it is recorded, it's on our YouTube channel. And we are already looking to do another series of that. We promoted a lot through when we do technical assistance, when we do our one-on-one technical assistance with small businesses, we send them an email with the link to those 4-part series to make sure that they understand the procurement process, they understand the requirements. And that session was a 4-part series because we really went in detail from A through Z, from before you are submitting the bid, what you need to do, after you submit the bid, make sure you read all the information. If you win the contract, what is it that you need to do to ensure that you're successful with that contract? We talked about living wage. We talked about a lot of reporting requirements, MURs, everything. So we just completed that last year, is available on our YouTube channel. We promote it regularly, but we also planning to do another one in the upcoming months. We need to start coordinating with purchasing to see when we're going to do the next series. Excellent question.
And that series is called How to Do Business?
Yes, how to do business with Broward County.
That's okay. The next question is, Does OESBD have any mentorship programs for the small businesses or certified small businesses?
So at this time, we don't have a mentorship program. We had a pilot mentorship program that was really successful a few years back. We have been discussing starting the program again. So we'll be submitting, and that's one of the priorities of our Small Business Development Advisory Board that has been appointed by the County Commission. So we're going to be working with the Purchasing Division to make that recommendation or advance that recommendation from our Small Business Advisory Board to the county administrator. Basically, they are recommending what type of incentives can be provided to mentors to serve as mentors as part of the program, right? Because we want the larger companies to be mentoring the small certified businesses. So we've been working on some of that, see how we can incentivize mentors to participate in the program, etc. But we know that mentorship programs can be very successful if they're well structured. Our program had a lot of administrative coordination because we wanted to make sure we had a really robust structure for reporting, meeting, basically documenting performance measures. So we're again evaluating resources that we have available to do that, evaluating incentives that can be offered based on the lessons learned from the first program.
Okay, and the last question I'm seeing so far, and guys, as Maribel is responding, feel free to type, oh, another one just popped in too. So feel free to type in your questions in the chat. The next question is, purchasing uses NIGP codes to advertise bids and target vendors, and OESBD uses NAICS codes. I wonder if OESBD would consider including NIGP codes to effectively target firms using NIGP and NAICS.
That is an excellent comment. I can share with you that we have been attempting to do that, and so as counties and cities all over the United States want to do that because the federal program is based on NAICS codes, right? And of course, procurement has the NIGP codes. We've been working with our bonfire vendor to try to see if they can do a crossover, a walkthrough, right, through those two systems. Unfortunately, we were not able to implement that for bonfire, but I want you to know that we're diligently working to try to find a solution to that challenge that we're having right now. And it's not only a Broward County challenge, it's a nationwide challenge. All other programs, the federal programs throughout the whole, all the United States, the local programs that have certification programs, they are all experiencing the same challenges. And we're trying to see if it's going to be possible for us to do that crosswalk in the future to ensure that it can be a streamlined process and it can be easier for both purchasing and our small business compliance team. That's an excellent comment.
All right, and the last question I'm seeing here so far is, what are the repercussions of prime vendors that do not meet county goal requirements within the contract period? What happens?
That's an excellent segue into my last few slides. Thank you for that. So you can see here the MURs. Basically, primes are required to submit this on a monthly basis to tell us the CVEs they're using and the payments. We do payment verifications after this is received to make sure that the subs, the CVEs, are getting paid what the prime stated. And we do enforcement if that doesn't happen. So whoever asked that question, thank you. That was perfect timing. Basically, we make sure that up front they understand the requirements of the program. We do compliance verification at 25%, 50%, and 75% project completion. The good news is the county, I just issued a notice to proceed with a new diversity software that Broward County OESBD is going to be using, and that's going to be generating automatic payment verifications every month. So right now we use 25, 50, 20, 75% project completion payment verifications. That's done manually by our specialists.
But when this system goes live that we are going to be working on this year, these automatic payments are going to be generated. Payment verifications are going to be generated automatically as soon as the payment information is received from PeopleSoft on a monthly basis. Payment audits will go to the primes and the subs. So we'll be able to have monthly updated information on these payments. When the primes and the subs are not complying with the requirements of the program, we start our enforcement process. So we issue notices to cure, we issue notices of violations. We have liquidated damages now on our contracts as of 2018. We have the ability to work with purchasing to suspend or debar primes as well if they have, of course, significant violations to the program in multiple contracts. So those are just a few of the things that we do on a regular basis to ensure compliance with the program. And that's an excellent question that you just shared with us. And we work with all of you, with all the county agencies, to close out these projects, to really confirm the payments and to make sure that the primes you were using our CVEs. And at this time is when we're able to apply those liquidated damages, where the county has the ability to work with the county attorney's office to keep some of those payments. The last payments, we're able to apply liquidated damages to those. We have done a few of those in the last year or two, but we're really excited that we were able to add that to our 2018 amendments to the Business Opportunity Act. And I'm now wrapping up our session because I know we have just a few minutes left. This is the Shelter Market Program. All of you are very familiar with it. It's really important that you complete your shelter market form and that you submit the information to our office. Check with purchasing on the informal quote process. That's for all purchases that are below $100,000. We want to make sure you use our CBE, our SBEs for your informal quotes. So now you know where you have to go to the directory to get that information. It's really easy for you to download the list of SBEs, and you can email them your quote request following the procurement process. And I want to share with you some information about the ownership disclosure form. As some of you know, a few years back in June 2021, the County Commission approved an agenda item to request race and gender information from county vendors. So the county attorney worked with the county commission to develop a process. And we've been working, of course, with the purchasing division to make sure that race and gender information is collected from all vendors. Our office, OESBD, is responsible for managing that data, generating reports for the county commission, etc. So we've been doing this since April of 2022, working in collaboration with the purchasing division. And right now we're working with ETS to develop a streamlined process now that we're moving to Bonfire or BPRA to make sure that that process of data collection continues. Just so you know, these are some of the reports we use the race and gender information for. We have to do semi-annual reports on the federal program, DBE, ACDBE reports, status of women report that is generated by the county auditor. They commission a consultant to do that report every other year. That's required by the county commission, and race and gender information is used for that. And then these are just some other additional reports that Broward County OESBD is responsible for. We do annual reports, scorecards, etc. And very quickly wanted to share with you the Software Anchor Alliance. We want our small businesses to be successful beyond Broward County government. So we have partnered with all these organizations to post our solicitations. So we post all of Broward County solicitations in this regional marketplace. And all these other organizations, we're talking about over $8 billion in procurement opportunities from Miami-Dade County, FIU, UHealth, University of Miami, Broward College, Jackson Memorial, City of Miami, Broward Schools, Miami-Dade Schools, and Broward Health. We're all in the marketplace. You can scan this QR code to have access to the marketplace. And we're posting hundreds of solicitations on a monthly basis in the marketplace because we want to provide access to our small businesses to additional opportunities. So we're really excited about this project as well. We all know about BPRO. So we continue to outreach to our small business community to ensure that they register for BPRO. And we want to invite all of you to our Broward and Beyond Business Conference on May 3rd at the Convention Center. You can be a volunteer at BBB, or you can join as an attendee. We know that Bob and Connie and purchasing staff always attend. Want to welcome all of you to attend, and please share the information if you know of other entrepreneurs or small businesses that would like to have access to information, contracting opportunities, how to grow your business. They have to attend our Broward and Beyond Business Conference. It's going to be May 3rd at the Convention Center, completely free for our small businesses. And FITSI, I mentioned earlier, our international conference is October 23rd and 24th at the Convention Center. So hope to see some of you there, but please help us spread the word. And here's just a save the date. We'll be sharing more information in the future. And sign up to get our newsletter. We send a newsletter every Wednesday evening with a lot of information about our programs, resources for our businesses, grants that may be available for small businesses, etc. You can just scan this QR code to receive our Business Assistance Weekly newsletter. And I don't know if we have any other questions on the chat.
We do, and I just want to go ahead and thank everyone for sticking with us. We're a little bit over, but if you have to come off, no worries. Today's session is being recorded, as I said, for future viewing. So if you do have to go off, we understand completely. But we will, Maribel and I will hang out here a couple more minutes to address any burning questions you may have. So feel free to go ahead and type those burning questions in the chat. Okay, so the question I'm seeing here is, and they're referring to a previous question you answered. The series walks them through, I'm believing he's talking about the How to Do Business series, walks vendor through the process of submitting and responding. However, does OSBD procedure involve providing the step-by-step process to build or create and submit bids and proposals, responses, etc., so that small businesses can compete with prime vendors?
So the sessions, the only session that we offer at this time that walks vendors through the step-by-step, the components of a bid, the different requirements of the bid, the documents you need to submit as part of the bid. We even share an example of previous bids, right? So they can see the structure, what it looks like, etc. That's the only program that we're offering at this time, is in collaboration with purchasing, doing business with. If we receive any questions from our certified small businesses that they may have specific questions about a bid, we can do one-on-one technical assistance. So we will meet with them one-on-one, and we can find an old bid related to their industry, and we will walk them through we'll share that with them and share the different components, answer questions they may have, etc. We do that on a one-on-one technical assistance basis. We don't have any additional group training or workshops that focuses on bid preparation.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? While we have Maribel here, we might as well, pull as much as we can from her brain as but if you have any additional questions, feel free to go ahead. You can send them directly to me, Alexa Francis House, or A Francis House at Broward.org, or to purchasing training. That's probably easier. To purchasing training at Broward.org, and I will funnel them over to Maribel.
And
So
Alexa, I wanted to share
Yes.
with everybody that OSBD is going to start county agency training this summer. We did county agency training a few years back. We're going to start county agency training again this summer. So stay tuned for more information. We're coordinating with LOD to make sure it's added to their programs that are provided, training programs that are provided to county agencies as well. So stay tuned for more information, because we're going to be providing very detailed training to our county agencies. We know some county agencies have some new employees, and we want to make sure that they understand the program and how they need to work with purchasing and our office as part of that process.
All right, thank you so much, Maribel. I'm not seeing any additional questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's session. Again, thank you. Let's give Maribel a round of applause for sharing all of this amazing information about the Office of Economic and Small Business Development today. Yay! And thank you guys for being such a captive audience. We really appreciate you spending your lunch with us. Feel free to check out any of our future Lunch and Learns on our events page on the BCNet. That's where you can see any future upcoming events that we're having. Feel free to check that out. And then you can also check out our Lunch and Learn playlist on YouTube, on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you to Maribel, and thank you all to you for attending. Have a good Thursday. Bye-bye.